Hi, I'm Larry Nimmer, standing in front of my studio here in Carpinteria, California. The Carpinteria Valley Arts Council recently asked me to put together a reel of my shorts, not so much my commercial stuff, but my entertainment stuff, from the beginning of time with me until today. So this first short is back from 1969 when I was a high school senior. I made this movie called My 69 Brain. It's basically all the things that were on my mind in 1969. Not things that I was doing, but things that I was confronted with by my peers in society. Let's look at the slate and then roll tape. Well, I hope you enjoyed My 69 Brain, made in 1969. By the way, I always tell people when I show it that I had 3 different types of brains for the movie. I had a cow's brain that I bought at Safeway Market. I had a plastic brain, I think I got at a toy store. and I had a clay brain, the one that I cut up. I had made a few notes to myself. Oh, my parents appeared in this movie, the kind of 40-something to 40 to 50-something adults, and my dad, my dear mom, Gloria Nimmer, who's still with us at 83 and is getting more mellow in her old age. Very cool. And my dear old dad, who died 18 years ago, Mel Nimmer, the warmest guy ever, and the world authority on copyright law, Nimmer on Copyright. But what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I miss Spin Art. Spin Art was at our high school fair that year. And the bumper stickers you saw in the video, there was two of them which were popular at the time in 1969. The Flower Child liberal element had the bumper sticker, America, change it or lose it. And the more conservative element had the bumper sticker, America, love it or leave it. What's up next? Well, in the next year, from 1969, I graduated, went to Israel for a quarter actually, and then started Berkeley, UC Berkeley in 1970. This next film is called My First Quarter at Berkeley, and it starts with an intro I made more recently. Roll that tape. My first quarter at Berkeley was in 1970 during the height of the Vietnam War protests. I shot this film to chronicle an average day in the life on campus, which usually started with protests and ended with tear gas and head bashing. The music's by the Cal Marching Band.
On brave old Army team, on to the brave, fight on to victory, for that's the fearless Army way.
So that was my first quarter at Berkeley in 1970 when Governor Reagan at the time, before he was president. And one thing I got to hand it to him, what he did that quarter in 1970, he closed down the university about a month and a half before the quarter was over. If you were getting a passing grade at the time, you just automatically got to pass that quarter. Much to my relief and my friends, it was our first quarter at the big university, nervous about finals, so it was kind of cool. And then we went and did public service things in the community. It was really a fun time, even though it was a serious time and a sad time. I want to make a few notes about that film. You see at one point a cop coming towards the steps and using his baton. Well, he hit me at the end of that shot after I turned off the camera. But I do have to admit it didn't really hurt. He kind of tapped me. He didn't do it in anger. He was telling us to leave, and I just elected not to, like a lot of the students elected not to because they were protesting the war. You saw a scene with some people with a rubber band type thing launching rocks. So I wanted to explain what seemed to often happen. The way the riots really got going each day was there'd be a rally at noon where students would gather and protest the war. The street people would gather behind the students. Street people, on the whole, were not students. They were living a modest lifestyle and doing drugs and up to mischief. Anyway, they would start lobbing rocks over the students to hit the cops. And then the cops would get all pissed off. They'd take it for a while, and then they'd get pissed off, and then they'd start throwing tear gas in the direction where the rocks were coming from. But then the students would get gassed, and then they'd pull up their scarves that we wore to class each day and put some vinegar on it if necessary. And then the students would get all pissed off from being gassed and then start digging up rocks and throwing it at the cops. And then by the end of the day, bang, boom, bomb. But anyway, what else did I want to mention? Oh, the students called me pig some when I was shooting. I was shooting a Super 8 camera. My hair was short. I had just started Berkeley, fresh out of high school, just after a little bit of Israel on a kibbutz. I don't think I looked like a pig, but they called me it and I took it for posterity's sake. Hopefully it was worth it, the footy. One little story, something happened. The cops at one point chased a bunch of us into an elevator in a building. And we went up to the top floor, the 6th floor of the Daily Cal office, where I was just trying to do a little work. And then the cops, they called the elevator back down to the bottom floor. The elevator doors open. They lobbed a bunch of tear gas canisters into the elevator, pulled the plug and all, and pushed floor 6. So the elevators came up to 6, opened up, and spewed out the tear gas into our offices. We had to lean out the window and cough. And it was kind of fun, really. But anyway, tear gas, it hurt. Didn't hurt that bad. Anyway, what else do I want to say? Oh, lastly, it seems then that the students led the way in protesting the war and getting the war to stop. There's a certain amount of parallels between then and today, but I don't know that the students are as much at the forefront of objecting to the war in Iraq, and so it's interesting to compare times. Next up, Everyday Humor, a film I made for my philosophy of humor class. This was 3 years later, 1973, still a student at Berkeley, and my best friend Mark Nimmer co-stars with me in this movie. Finally, you'll see my hair grew out into a fro. As you're facing the two of us, I'll be the guy on the right. Everyday Humor. I'll roll the slate. So that was Everyday Humor. Hope you enjoyed it. By the way, I'm hoping someday to make an updated movie on everyday humor type gags and so forth. And if you have any thoughts on what should be included in it, you can email me. You'll see my website at the end of the video. Up next is 1 week's peek. Well, this is a slideshow I made. I never finished. I think this was made in 1974 to 70 or 75. I took one picture of everybody I ran across for a period of 1 week while about in my senior year in college at UC Berkeley. And many people, I jotted down something they said to me at the time. I had it in mind to do it as a 3-screen, multi-screen slideshow at the Oakland Museum. They considered it, they never did do it. I have the slides. I wanted to get it into the Larry Nimmer Short Show. So roll tape. And up next are music videos. I did my first music video in 1979. At the time, I was the news librarian at KPIX TV in San Francisco. That's the CBS affiliate there. And in the evening, I used their edit machines to edit music video. By the way, at the time, it was shot on 3/4-inch video, and you'd edit from deck to deck, and you couldn't have dissolves because there weren't 2 decks to roll in. It was all analog, but that's how we did it back then. So let's look at a bunch of music videos. Let's move this thing along just a little bit. I just want to show you something here. There we go. Okay. So those were my legs. I was actually laying on his back. That's one of the Sparks brothers, Ron Mayle, Russell and Ron Mayle. They're quite interesting guys, and they performed with Jane Whelan of the Go-Go's. I did that with my friend Graham Whiffler, quite a creative director. On this one, I produced it. He directed it. We got the job from a record company like 3 or 4 days before the performers showed up, and so we didn't have a lot of time to prep. I think we were paid $20,000 for it. So Graham's creative solution was to shoot them on a blue screen, dancing and just kind of joshing around, and then afterwards we made miniatures, and we then added the backgrounds afterwards. The miniatures were about this big. You also saw a black and white. We shot that in 35mm Holly Penfield, and that was shot in the basement of the Tubes, a kind of a new wave band from San Francisco back in the day. Okay, and one other thing I wanted to mention, the financials of music video. Why, Larry, are you not still producing music videos today? Well, the reason is because everybody was willing to do it for next to nothing. We kept bidding on jobs, and we were told, well, this group was willing to do it for $5,000 or $3,000 or for free. Because kind of an average job back in the 80s was like $20,000 to $40,000. Now music videos average like around $1 million, the cost to make a TV commercial. And what we found happened is the mid-level jobs we were bidding on would all go to people willing to do them for next to nothing, or to big-time feature directors who would do a music video just kind of for kicks to try to experiment with different techniques. So we got out of the music video business back then because of that. It was fun though. Well, up next are some of my boys' videos, and my boys being Andrew and Steven. They're 21 and 24 years old now. But back in the day, the first one we'll show you is Saving Private Rodriguez. It's Andrew made it, but I kind of helped him, and I just want to stick it on my reel because it's kind of some fun local stuff. Saving Private Rodriguez, storming the beaches of Carpinteria. Check it out.
A. We're hitting the beach in 2 waves. Team A, that's us. We hit the beach first. There's going to be a lot of jimmies out there, so you got to take them down as quick as you can. Then Team B comes in for reinforcements. I'm not going to lie to you, boys. We might not make it all. Let's move, 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 move.
What is this?
Coming up next, Steve's masterpiece, which he used to do to me all the time, omnipresence. I love that video. Okay, up next, used motor oil. Does that sound sexy? Well, it's actually one of my commercial jobs, and I wouldn't normally put it in this reel, but just kind of some fun stuff. I got a grant from the state of California to educate people not to dump used motor oil on the ground. So I thought, how can I make it fun and interesting and sexy? So, cue the lowriders and the surfers. Roll tape.
Whether you drive a sport utility vehicle or a lowrider car, recycling your motor oil protects the environment and preserves our natural resources. Here are some comments at a recent lowrider show.
Recycle your motor oil.
Because if you dump it, and it'll hit our oceans, and it's bad for the ocean, and you know, the fishes and all that.
Recycle your oil, it's good for the environment.
Salvador Munoz with his Migra truck.
Yeah, I take my oil to Craigan or Pep Boys to keep from polluting the water that my daughter can drink someday.
I use re-refined oil right off the shelf because I think it helps with environmental pollution and also conserving our resources.
Homeboy, he usually does a little bit of job when he has somebody cheering for him. Órale, raza. I know it's so.
When you're washing your car or changing your oil at the house, always remember if it goes down the drain, it's coming to the beach.
I don't like surfing in oily water and having smelly chemicals come down and make me feel bad. That's not good. I don't like it when my dog goes and plays in the ocean and it's brown and disgusting.
You know, I really like the surf and the ocean the way it really is supposed to be.
You know, if you're going to change your own oil, right in Carpinteria, you got a place next to City Hall that'll take it for free. and it'll get put away in the right way instead of being out here in the surf break with us.
Just stay clean, have a good time, and surf with the waves.
What do the owners of these cars have in common? They recycle their used motor oil. Here are some scenes from recent lowrider shows.
Hey DJ, little dancing music.
Hey, what's up? This is Ice-T. We at the LA Sports Arena Car Show. I'm recycling used motor oil. You know what I'm saying? We got to worry about the environment. It's all real. Peace.
Don't dump your motor oil. Use re-refined motor oil. It's the best.
He's getting up there on the 50 ring. Victor Ortiz. Whoa! World record category.
That Ice-T scene was cool. I just happened to see a bunch of people around him, and I went up to him and I said, could you say a few words about not dumping used motor oil? And he turned to me and said, ready? I hit the red button on my camera. I said, yeah. And he said, hey man, it's Ice-T. I'm here at the LA Convention Center. He just went right into it. That guy's a pro. That was very cool. Next up, my neighbors, the Corderos, who are Chumash, told me about a Tolmo arriving at Ash Avenue Beach.
We launched the Tomo from Santa Barbara Harbor and just paddled down the coastline to here at Carpinteria.
We're doing this for preparation for crossing to Nimmer, our point of origin to cross the channel, Santa Barbara Channel. And this is what we're doing. We're doing it without drugs or alcohol, and we're doing it for the next generation. Generation has come to show the young people that you can be proud they're Chumash. Yes, they're Chumash around. Let's stop talking about the past tenses. We're here to stay, it's only obvious, and we welcome all the young people. There's around 5,000 to 7,000 Chumash and their descendants.
Well, the material is redwood, and traditionally, before modernization, we'd have redwood driftwood coming down from Northern California, and Chumash would make the tomos or the canoes out of redwood, driftwood, and pine, and they're lashed together with traditional materials, cordage, and tar and pine pitch.
It's not just one individual, but the cumulative effort of all the community. We use old and new, and that's where they become one. And we go in harmony, we go in balance, and we go without, like I said before, without any abuses with ourselves or with each other. So this is a new thing. We're trying to be an instrument to educate the non-indigenous population of how we should live. This is not a motorized craft. That we power our own craft, and we power that not by gasoline or anything like that, but by our own spirit and the spirit from the community. So that I think makes it so exciting, and we're really excited about this. Everybody that lives within this Tri-County area are very fortunate in order to have the environment, but now we just have to protect it.
Well, thanks for leading a good example.
You're welcome.
It was a great day shooting that footage of the Tolmo arriving at Ash Avenue. And it was such a surreal scene, the contrast between the everyday beach activity and the Tolmo arriving, which was an everyday activity back when, and fortunately today as well. Up next, some footage from the news press controversy. I shot a number of demonstrations and press conferences and other things like that, where I edited them in camera and played them on community access, just as kind of for a way to the community to get a feel for what's going on without having to spend a lot of time on my part. So here's some footage from that. By the way, that was too cool when they picked up the Tolmo and just carried it along.
Well, we have a very, very crucial hearing here today. This is the National Labor Relations Board is listening to the company's accusations that we were coerced into joining the union. We voted with 85% in favor of the union, and we were in no way, shape, or form coerced.
Travis, can we get a couple words from you?
And it's going to be, the prosecution is going to be done by National Labor Relations Board lawyer.
Apparently she's a Santa Barbara News Press reporter, and the representatives of the union have been telling her all of the issues that are on their mind and the hearings about. And I guess what will be interesting to see is whether the paper tomorrow reports what they're telling her.
You're reporting for what paper?
For the news press.
And so the news press is going to have a story on this?
Yes.
That's good. And were you given any direction on how to slant the story one way or the other?
I was given no direction, just told, can you report on this? And that was it.
And how long have you worked for the paper?
It's only been not even quite 5 months. I haven't a clue. I'm really trying to play catch up because we haven't reported on any of this.
The news press should be shunned in that no one should send them news releases, no one should do interviews, no one should pitch stories, and it's another way to show how irrelevant they've become and apply pressure. Because clearly money and reputation do not matter to this ownership and management.
Thanks, David.
Thanks.
33 to 6. We want fair and square. 33 to 6. I want fair and square. 33 to 6. We want fair and square. 33 to 6. 33 to 6.
Oh, the news press situation, it's heartbreaking to everybody involved, from the people fired to the community to the owner, Wendy McCaw. Anyway, up next is some Burning Man footage. The Burning Man Festival occurs once a year out in the Nevada desert. I've been to it a number of times. It's kind of an art, free expression, communication, compassion festival is the way I see it. It's also an experiment in community building. So I've shot footage of it. I'm going to play some here. It includes my family vacation to Burning Man and just miscellaneous slow-mo footage. Roll tape.
Good enough for me and my Bobby McGee.
What are you doing? You packing for Burning Man?
Packing for Burning Man.
What do you think?
Trying to anticipate the desert, the needs of the desert.
You haven't been, have you? What do you think it's going to be like?
Dusty. I've heard from numerous people it's going to be pretty dusty.
Last thing before we leave.
Why that?
Hey, are we rolling, Bob?
Yeah, here we are.
And you started rolling with the lens cap on. But I gave him the camera with the lens cap on. I didn't realize it was on, actually.
So, Daddy-O, where are we right now?
Okay, we're on the road out to Burning Man. We're probably about an hour away. We're at Pyramid Lake on my left. Want to pan left or pan that way? Got a little Pyramid Lake action. Well, family, we're here at Burning Man. Well, hello there. It's my Melissa, my dear wife. I call her Bobby or Bob. She also calls me Bobby or Bob. But Bobby, what do you think of this whole thing so far?
It's just unbelievable. The scale of it is just unbelievable. People's commitment to it and making these incredible artworks. You having breakfast?
Snack. We got some duct tape over the lens. Is that a Larry Nimmer trick right there?
Yeah, it's a Larry Nimmer trick. Andrew, what do you think of this whole rigmarole so far?
What do I think of it?
Yeah.
I like it.
How would you say it's different from... my question I've been going around asking is, how is this place different from the default world for you?
Well, I like the kind of gift attitude where people just give you some drinks or give you pancakes, or they are just here to do something for you, build something that is free and for people, so that's really nice.
Well, it's the night after the burn. We're gonna pack it up. We're gonna take off. We're taking off, huh, Andrew?
Yeah.
What'd you think of this whole rigmarole?
I can't you keep on asking me to sum up the entire experience in words. It was good. I had a good time.
The smell of broccoli, old broccoli. It smells particularly bad right about now. Trying to get ready and feeling very dirty, but overall it was a very worthwhile experience, and it was really amazing.
Okay, well, we're coming to the end of the Larry Nimmer Shorts reel. Hope you enjoyed the Burning Man footage. It's not your typical family vacation, but a worthwhile experience nonetheless. And I must say experience, because out in the Nevada desert, there's no water, no electricity, nothing. You have to bring your own water, bring a generator if you need power. The community builds a city where 30,000 people show up for 1 week, and then they tear it down, and not a trace left. There's not one trash can in Burning Man. Actually, there's one in the Center Camp Cafe. That's the only one. It's an art one. Very cool experience. Up next, experiments in American good humor. Well, I recently had an opportunity to go to Europe to visit my son in Spanish language school in Spain. I thought, what type of project can I do? I always like to have a project when I'm on vacation. And also a way to write off the trip. Cut that. And also for tax purposes, if it's a project, it's always good. Anyway, I like to try to do compassionate things and give people an opportunity to express themselves. I did this thing called Experiments in American Good Humor. I experimented in various ways to communicate good humor to the foreigners. One way was to videotape them, put them on YouTube, and email them the link so that they can express themselves to their family and friends by emailing to each other, watching it on YouTube. So these are some clips from YouTube. I hope to make a documentary about my experiments in American good humor. You'll find out a little bit more about it then. Let's roll tape. Well, now I'm in the closest place to where the dart landed, and I'm in a small town, and now I'm going to throw a dart at a detailed portion of the town, and let's see where we go. Here's the dart. Let's try another throw. Okay, we're getting close. We're at Place de Marché Neuf, and we want to go right up here and on the right. Right up that way. I think the spot's right about over there. Seems to be about where that phone booth is. Across the street is the Video Futur. Bonjour madame. Et de quoi êtes-vous passionné?
De quoi je suis passionnée?
Oui.
La défense des bonnes valeurs, notamment l'agriculture, l'environnement et la défense de la planète.
Et vous avez un message au monde?
Un message pour le monde?
Pour le monde.
Un petit peu plus de tolérance et d'intelligence entre les relations humaines.
Plus de tolérance, je suis d'accord.
Voilà.
Merci.
Bonne journée.
Qu'est-ce que vous aimez dans la vie?
Ah.
Comment?
Bah moi déjà j'aime les appareils électriques.
Oui. Très bien. Et
j'aime la lecture.
vous aimez la lecture?
Oui.
Bien. Donc, bonne chance. Do you have any ideas how peace can come about in the world?
Well, I think war is not really a good idea. I think diplomatic way and helping countries to develop themselves is a good idea.
Do you have any questions for me?
Well, not really.
Okay. Can you ask me one question? Anything you want. I'm sorry, let me put this like this. Okay.
Does the United States have such an idea of France? How does the United States think of the French people?
How does the United States think of the French people? We think the French people are kind of snobby. They think they're so great, but they're not that great, is what a lot of American people think. And they don't understand why the French people like Jerry Lewis so much. But what I'm certainly finding is French people are just as open as others and maybe are a little more intellectual. They like to talk, they like to think, they like freedom, and I've really been happy how French people have respected what I'm doing. De quoi êtes-vous passionné?
À l'heure actuelle, l'informatique.
L'informatique?
Informatique.
De quoi êtes-vous passionné?
De chevaux et de golf.
Un message pour le monde. Plus de compassion et plus de tolérance.
Oui, comment êtes-vous spécial?
Horriblement compliqué.
Okay, bon. What do you like to do?
Qu'est-ce que tu aimes bien faire?
Moi, l'équitation.
Comment? Équitation? Qu'est-ce que c'est équitation?
Horse.
Horses? Oh, bon. Do you have a message for the world?
Est-ce que tu as un message pour le monde? Pour l'humanité, si tu devais donner un message?
Yes.
What?
En français?
Oui.
En français, ça va.
Notre vie est unique, c'est une chance. Si vous la ratez, vous ne la recommencerez pas.
Bon. Merci. Well, maybe some goodness came from asking those questions, and maybe some of those people will like being on YouTube, on internet TV, and particularly that sweet dear little girl. and maybe she'll have a good feeling from Americans as she grows older. A little bit of one maybe from me, particularly if she gets to see herself on YouTube. Woohoo!
I am the froggy man, and sometimes when I go to Babu, I want. I am very hard now. It's difficult for me to make the froggy man. Okay, Babu is fantastic, too much acrobatic, and you said when I see you, I am very. The life is very good when you are with me. Thank you.
All right. What is your name?
My name is Froggy Man.
Froggy Man. And are you Parisian?
Are you?
Vous êtes de Paris?
Paris, yes.
It's not natural painting like this. When I did the show, I put that. Right, I say nothing.
Yeah.
No. But the people like this because it's original things. So I'm not academic. Because I
You're
don't
modern,
like,
huh?
Yeah. This is my imagination side of films. Need to change because too many people painting on the street, in the house. It's not original. Everybody's a copy of everybody. And one day I say, okay, I want to make something original painting. I blind my eyes and I stay behind the portraits. I make the portraits. Maybe the people I think is illusions because the people I make the face, but the people you don't know the first what is it, and after when I finish, you know the face when I paint.
And who is that face?
This is Che Guevara.
Right, very obvious.
Che Guevara.
And what other pictures do you draw?
Revolution. So, because too many people in the world know this face. I do this on the street because there's 90% maybe tourists on the street and like that.
Mon Dieu. Thanks for watching the Larry Nimmer Shorts Reel. Various odds and ends of shorts I've done that I was asked to put together by the Carpinteria Valley Arts Center. Anyway, from Carpinteria, California, it's Larry Nimmer. We'll see you next time.